The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Happy Friday, Hail Stalkers. Lead meteorologist Sean Choquette here for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, our supplement, and Merlin Law Group. Check them all out in the description below if you're watching us here on Facebook. So we're going to jump straight into those weather headlines for today. Top story we have here is the surprise little hailstorm yesterday in parts of the Denver area in Colorado. We have more large hail possible this evening across the northern plains. And also we're going to be checking in on Tropical Storm Faye, which of all places, the first real, I guess second now tropical storm is heading towards New York City in July. 2020 is a weird year, guys, so we're going to go over that as well. But first, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday. Last night, we had 2 3-star maps. The first one that I'm going to go over here was in the Gillette and Guernsey area parts of Wyoming. We had upwards of tennis ball size hail in Gillette, Wyoming, and about 5,000 homes impacted. Not the biggest town in the world, but there was quite a bit of hail. These are all from Gillette. Looks like some nice hard hail, a lot of it fallen, ranging from that ping pong ball to 2 to even 2.5 inch in diameter. So you can go check that out. And of course, also we have this storm that moved through the Denver area. Wasn't even able to go live for this one. It formed pretty close, pretty much on top of Brighton, Colorado. And by the time I was ready to roll, it was already pretty much over the airport. So we had Henderson, Watkins, and Avalo, Colorado. We had up to tennis ball size hail, not in Brighton or in Henderson. This was actually over by Watkins. We had tennis ball size hail, some limes as well, and about 14,586 homes impacted. And here's that picture, this from Watkins, of that tennis ball size hail. And then that's compared to tomatoes, about probably lime size hail. And then this is from the Henderson area, that quarter, $half, it looks like even maybe close to a ping pong ball there for that hail. And it looks like much harder hail as well. And the last couple storms we had in Colorado so far, the last month or so, have been really soft. These look like your more typical sturdier hailstones. So you can go check that out on Hailtrace's website, hailtrace.com. There should be a link to it in a post somewhere on our Facebook page as well. So check those maps out. And what do we expect for the rest of today here across the northern plains? A lot of the same areas have been impacted over the past couple weeks here. Looks like some storms are going to form in far eastern sections of Montana and move generally to the southeast. Could see some storms over by Rapid City yet again. You are in a moderate chance, maybe even with a tennis ball size hail. I know we just had it the other day, but it's possible again this evening. Also, we could see some storms from North Platte to Omaha, down to Kansas City, even up towards Sioux Falls and over by Bismarck. The main focus again is going to be parts of South Dakota going into the far southwestern reaches of North Dakota. But it looks like we could also see some storms late overnight, possibly going into daybreak tomorrow, where we could see upwards of $1/4 to $1/2 size hail and some gusty winds pulling towards the Kansas City area, and that's going to lead into tomorrow's risk as well. Oops, I went the wrong way. There we go. Future radar for the rest of this afternoon. You can see all these storms blowing up here in parts of the Dakotas and then pushing off to the southeast. And then towards the end of the run, you actually see some storms forming up by Omaha. And if I go a little bit further to the south here, you can see this is the very end of the run. So this is almost daybreak tomorrow. So it'll be after midnight for places like Omaha and Kansas City. It's going to be this is going to be having storms forming again 2, 3 in the morning, and that's going to extend into tomorrow as well, where the main risk for your Saturday is really just going to be the activity that happens late tonight and goes in through the morning. So this Kansas City risk, yes, you're in it for 2 days, but really it's just kind of cooling down to when those storms move through. Our forecasts kind of go from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m., so it's very possible that this will not move through Kansas City by 7 a.m. and then but it would be very close to 8, 9 in the morning, moving through, and then pushing south and east, where the vast majority of this risk area is all in the morning hours tomorrow, extending all the way back towards Tulsa and up through Kansas City. So it really looks like it again. So let's see, just joined. How's the Colorado hail last night? Upwards of tennis ball size hail in a small town of Watkins, the most populated area by Brighton and Henderson. That's more $1/4, $1/2 size hail. Looked like even maybe a couple ping pong balls, a little harder than what we saw the last couple storms. And large quantities of hail, a ton of hail fell as kind of par for the course for Colorado. Brighton, I think, saw a ton of marble size hail, which is around penny to nickel size hail, and then upwards to about $1/2. So just a quick recap there for you for Colorado. Anyway, going back to tomorrow, main risk going to be for tomorrow morning, and then in the afternoon we could see some storms in Iowa and parts of Illinois as well. So jumping in that future radar, you can see these are the storms in the morning, a big complex pushing through, very similar if you're in Oklahoma City. We had that this morning, and possibly even down towards Dallas later on this afternoon if the thing can actually make it there. But it really looks like it's going to be pushing off to the south and east tomorrow. That's going to be your main risk, so it's going to be in the morning, early hours here, probably primarily wind risk, but could see some little pockets up to $1/4 to $1/2 size hail. And finally, tropical check-in. Whoops. Oh, did I forget to? I didn't animate. Dang. Well, tropical storm phase looking pretty good. You can't see it below the map here. So this is from the National Hurricane Center as of 11 o'clock this morning Eastern time. About 60 mile/hour winds sustained right off the coast of New Jersey here. And it's going to go up and pretty much go right over Manhattan, which is very unusual. You don't see hurricanes, or as a tropical storm. You don't see tropical storms too often hit New York City. So I got tropical storm watches all the way from the Connecticut-Rhode Island border down through about Atlantic City. Mostly a big-time rainmaker. I doubt we'll see too much in the way of any winds over 60. Maybe a couple right at the coast, maybe along Long Island. You could see maybe like Brooklyn, over by Coney Island, or points a little to the east towards the Hamptons. You might see some gusts upwards of 60 miles an hour, but for the most part, this is likely going to stay weak enough where we won't have a wind map. We don't start doing wind maps till about 60 sustained mile-per-hour winds for any tropical systems. But hey, we're already at F here, and we are on July 10th. So again, we knew it would be a busy year. We haven't had any crazy hurricanes yet. It's still very early, but just the fact that we've had these little tropical storms very easily and quickly form shows how favorable the conditions are for the more intense tropical activity when we get closer to your typical peak season. So we keep an eye on that. Follow us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all simply at HailTrace. to get all the latest updates. You don't miss any of our videos. And of course, if you hit see first or follow or whatever you got to do on Facebook, on our page, you will more likely see our content on your news feed. You interact with us more, you put comments in or like our stuff, you're more likely to see things show up. So make sure you do that on our Facebook so you don't miss anything, like our 3-star post for the Colorado activity yesterday. You can also give us a call at 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns you have, more questions about the storms, your first time hearing, SEPA training, whatever it is, it's a great number to call. You can email us as well, info@hailtrace.com, or visit our website for more details if it's your first time visiting Hailtrace. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday and a wonderful weekend. We'll be back with videos again on Monday at 12 o'clock Central Time, like we do every single weekday. I hope you guys have a great Friday. I'll see you on Monday.